So this video is inspired by Sadly It's Bradley's most recent tweet where he talks about the upcoming wave of all these ultralight VR headsets and how much he's looking forward to it. And he's got a point. It seems like we're entering a new age of VR headsets, where the primary focus is to be as light and as small as possible. A VR data miner, Luna, found some code as well as a very low-res image of the Meta Phoenix, which is Meta's entrance into the premium lightweight VR headset scene. This is the same headset I've referred to in the past as the Puffin headset, which is just another codename for it. And it was in the news a while back because Meta had reportedly kind of delayed it in order to focus more on the Quest 4. According to Luna, it's currently planned for the first half of 2027, so it's not too far away, but we'll see if they'll actually follow through on that. Looking at the low-res image, it's sort of like a bulky pair of glasses. If you look closer, there's also the nose pads in the middle, which would allow for perfect alignment with your eyes and the lenses, which would allow for the headset to rest more on your face and for the weight to be distributed to your nose. Obviously there's not really much more you can glean from this since it's such a low-res image, but it's still interesting to see. And I'm curious if this is the final version of the headset when it comes out next year, hopefully. But I think from just this alone and the information we already know from the Project Puffin headset, Meta and many VR companies as a whole are trying to move towards a lighter, smaller VR experience for people. As of right now though, it shouldn't be too controversial to say that VR is pretty heavy and unwieldy. The Quest 3 weighs 515 grams, which is an increase over the Quest 2's 503 grams. If you're just using the stock strap for the Quest 3 and not anything like the Elite strap or any third-party versions, I think it's safe to say that you'll feel that weight after 30 minutes or an hour or maybe even 2 hours if you're better with that kind of stuff. Compared to the Quest 2, while on paper it does seem thinner, with Meta themselves saying that's a 40% decrease in size, this number doesn't factor in any sort of face gasket, which for some reason they decided to make as big as possible for this headset. So honestly, seeing a headset from Meta that's this light and this tiny is very reassuring. The Steam frame weighs about 440 grams, which can be a lot, but the good thing about that is that 245 of those grams are going to the rear battery and strap, meaning that you'll only feel about 195 grams on your face. It's a much better improvement than the Valve Index, which weighed 810 grams, though a lot of that weight went to the head strap as well. The Vision Pro, infamously, weighed about 650 grams, which, when I owned it, made it near impossible to use it for more than an hour or so per day. The main reason for that is the aluminum alloy frame, the entire glass panel on the front of the headset, the weird eyesight display feature on the front, and cooling for the powerful chips inside of it. The Vision Pro refresh that came out in 2025 is 800 grams, which is insane. But part of this is due to the tungsten metal inserts put into the head strap in order to act as a counterweight. Now for you, you might have used VR for a while and have gotten used to this kind of weight, and you don't really see the issue with these kind of heavy headsets. But I think for the average, normal person, it's hard for them to handle that much weight on their face for a long period of time. In my experience, since I don't really have any studies to prove this, a heavier headset usually leads to a shorter playtime on average. And it's not just weight, it's an overall friction issue that VR has had since its inception. With these bulky headsets, you have to get the desire to actually want to put that on your face, then you have to make sure that all the straps are adjusted correctly, and if you're playing during a particularly hot season, then you have to worry about sweat, which is something that no one wants. Here, let me just give you an example. Let's say I gave you the option between watching a movie on your monitor or TV or whatever you have at home, or watching it on a VR headset through an app like Big Screen. While on paper it would be sick to watch a movie in a virtual cinema and with a infinitely large screen, I just think with most headsets out today, it's not going to be a very comfortable experience to just sit down and watch a movie for an hour or two. I'd rather just watch it without having something strapped to my face. However, I do think this is something that ultralight headsets would be able to solve. And I mean, it's kind of obvious, it's a smaller headset, it's lighter on your face. I think a great example of this would be the Big Screen Beyond 2, which is the headset that I'm currently using. The Beyond 2 is one of the lightest premium headsets out there today, and it's praised by many, including me, for how good it feels to wear, especially for longer periods of time. This is especially the case if you want to spend an afternoon playing something like Beat Saber or Half-Life Alyx, or if you just want to lay in bed and watch a movie or something. Now, the one issue that I do have with the Beyond 2 is that sweat builds up pretty easily inside of the face cushion, which is mainly because it's custom molded to your face, and the material itself is pretty thick. However, otherwise, it's a very comfortable way to experience VR. With these kind of smaller headsets, there's also less headset wobble when you're turning or like looking down or anything like that. This is very much unlike the Quest, which has had that issue since the very first one. I feel like all of these things combined make it really easy to just pick up and put on your head. It's never really been a chore for me. Pimax is shipping the Dream Air soon, which is a VR headset with micro OLED displays and 2560 by 2560 resolution, while just being 140 grams and fairly small. It is a tethered experience, but the fact that they can cram all of these different specs at just this tiny little weight is insane. And I think that all these headsets coming out is a sign that VR is heading towards a smaller future. Eventually, we'll see all-in-one headsets that are just the size of glasses. A headset small enough that you can take with you or put in your pocket or something cool like that. Of course, this would require a lot of advancements in technology to be able to achieve something like this, and I'm sure the first few iterations wouldn't be perfect in terms of battery or performance, but I think it's an exciting future to think about. That future is what Meta seems to be trying to go for, trying to shrink VR and AR into glasses, kind of like with the Meta Orion glasses. Whether they're successful at this or not, time will only tell. All this talk about ultralight headsets reminds me of the Immersed Visor, which if you don't know was one of the first tiny ultralight headsets that was announced. I have a video talking about the entire situation and how they've missed all the release dates, had a disastrous press showcase in 2024, and banned customers on their Discord who are worried about when it's actually going to come out. 10 months after I made that video, and not much has really changed since then. They've been very silent about when it's actually going to ship, or when we might get reviews for them. And as of now, there's only been 2 people who have simultaneously gotten their headsets and made videos on them. We do know that it's going to be using Android XR, and they replied to a comment on one of their own videos saying that they're actually ramping up to mass production. If you choose to believe that is totally up to you, but I would not recommend anyone pre-order this, at least until some independent reviews come out for it. I hope more tangible headsets come out with this form factor because it would be cool to just take it to a cafe or a restaurant or wherever. Overall, I think ultralight headsets are needed to bring more people into the VR scene. I think the idea of having as little friction as possible would entice people, and I think that anyone would think that VR in the form of glasses is cool. While a reality like this is probably a decade or 2 away, we're already seeing AR glasses with 60OF and hand tracking and all that good stuff coming out. I've heard a lot of good things about the Vitra Luma Ultra, but there's also ones like the X-Rio or Rokid. All I'm saying is if you're an early adopter, then it's worth checking some of these out, or at least looking into them. They're not VR headsets, mind you, and they're still pretty buggy and in their infancy, but it's worth mentioning. Anyways, that's really all I have to say about ultralight headsets, but I do wonder, would you actually buy an ultralight headset if you had the chance? Let me know in the comments down below, and make sure to like and subscribe. I've heard that for every person that subscribes, the chance of the Immersed Visor coming out anytime soon increases by 0.1%. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and take care!